Bum, bum, bum. Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling day. What was that? My apologies. My dog just finished her pup cup and threw the cup down on the ground to say, it's finished, I want more. Anyway, so welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast with its slight detour. We're back on track. This is podcast number 1278. Sometimes you just need a day off. I got these little suitcases going on underneath my eyes here. It's because last week was a busy week. I was working for a client. Actually I was working for two clients. Those that follow me know I work on a help chat for a company. And so I have that every afternoon, Monday through Friday. And the mornings were filled up with work for another client, as well as Grant Cardone had his, what was it called? Unbreakable Challenge going. And that went from Tuesday through Saturday. And it was a couple of hours. And if you were VIPs, you got an extra time with a sort of like a meeting after the meeting type of thing if you were in person. And a lot of the times I had to finish, it bumped right up to when I had to get on the help chat. And so I would listen up until from when it started at 11 o'clock my time, up until 1 o'clock until I had to get on the help chat. And then I had to disconnect. I was like, Arr. So I have some videos to catch up on because I purchased the VIP package knowing that there was going to be times where I couldn't stay to see the whole thing. And even though it was scheduled for 2 hours, sometimes they went over that 2 hours. And so I've been playing catch up all week. I've been playing catch up on the pieces that I missed, but great information. And I'm sitting there and I'm listening to some of this information going, this information sounds really familiar. And then I thought back over the last few years I've been with Platinum Inner Circle, with Casey's Platinum Inner Circle. And I suddenly realized, he's been teaching us this all the time. And I'm like, why did I not pay attention? Excuse me. And I was like, why did I not pay attention to that? Because I know that he's told me stuff before in the past on things to do and that sort of thing. And they just weren't registering. It was like, oh, yep, it's going in. I'm hearing it, but I was not registering it and understanding it at the time. So we had different people telling, basically the same thing of what I've been taught over the last few years. And I was like, oh, now it makes sense. And that's because I was ready to receive the information and act upon it. So that was kind of cool just to go and do that and learn a great lot of, I got pages and I got writer's cramp last week. I got pages and pages and pages of notes. And I missed most of Fridays because I had to take Zephy to get her vaccines done, her vaccinations done. Yes, she was a very good girl. And then we got to yesterday and I had day 5 of the Unbreakable Challenge, followed by 2 back-to-back Zoom calls, which were very, very fun, very informative. And one of them has me very intrigued because it's somebody who we may be doing a collaboration with genealogy and writing a book on how to do research and research tips and that sort of stuff. And it was very interesting, her family story and who was in her family. And then today arrived and I woke up and I was like, I really don't feel that good. I really did not. But I knew that at 10 o'clock this morning, I had to be my super fantastic sparkling self, all done with makeup and, basically to be screen ready, show ready, because I was, we were recording a podcast and we'd already put it off on Friday. We were supposed to do it Friday morning, but the jets at Luke's Air Force Base slightly changed their takeoff path. And instead of coming up and they're still, and going along the outside of the resort, when they take off, they come up, they go the outside of the resort and then turn and head off to the west. They were coming more directly over top of us here. Like I could go stand out there and look at the bellies of them as they flew overhead. So it was very, very noisy because as I explained to her, I said, I'm in an RV. We have no insulation. We have next to no insulation when it comes to heat. We have next to no insulation when it comes to sound. You can hear everything going on in an RV. You can walk past and you can tell if somebody's in the bathroom. You can tell if somebody's in their bed. You can hear people snoring. You can hear people having conversations. You can hear what they're watching on the TV, what music they're listening to. You basically have no privacy when it comes to an RV. Which is why I'm kind of glad that where I sit and do this is over halfway from the front of the RV, and on this side I have a carport. And I keep the blinds closed and I keep the windows closed just for that purpose. Even in the middle of the day, when I've got the blinds up and the windows open, I'm just sort of like open the window. I'll close it if I've got to get on conversation, and then close down the blinds. That gives me a little more protection, I think. Anyway, so this morning I woke up and I thought, I just don't feel that good. And my stomach was topsy-turvy. I wasn't sure if where it was going to go, what was going to happen, or anything else. But I did pull out my Digestin, which is a blend of essential oils, and you put a drop into a little 1 ounce. I've got a little shot glass specifically for this because I don't drink. So people go, what? If you don't have a shot glass, why do you have a shot glass if you don't drink? I'm like, very simple, because this little shot glass is 2 ounces. It's got the measure markings on it. And there's times I've got to take like an ounce of water with 1 or 2 drops of oils in it. And so I just put it in a little shot glass. And that way I get my measurement and I know how much in ounces. I don't have to pull out a glass for it. I just pull out this little shot glass. And so I pulled out the shot glass, did my thing with the Digestin, and then thought, well, maybe I'll go back to bed and lay down a bit. And I was like, no. So I went and sat in the recliner for a bit, and I was just like, I really don't feel like doing anything today. I'm supposed to be doing laundry today. I had laundry on the agenda. I had taking Zeffy to the PARK. So I had things on the agenda to do, and I was just like, I had zero energy. I very rarely ever wake up with zero energy. I'm one of those people in the morning who bounces out of bed like, let's get going. Yeah, I didn't even have the energy for that. And all I had going through my head is, no matter what happens, today is super fantastic and sparkling. No matter what happens, today is super fantastic and sparkling. Oh yeah, there's an always in there as well. But I had that going through my head all morning. I finally got up enough energy and strength to take Zeffy for a walk. I'm still not sure how we actually got out to do the actual walk, but we did our normal morning routine route. She did not pull on her leash, which was amazing. She didn't pull or try to dart off in any direction, which she typically does try to do. So she had a very calm walk today. I guess she was just tuned in to say, yeah, Mama's not going to deal with this, with me bouncing around today. And so she was just very calm and sedate as we walked around, and she did her thing. And yeah, when I bent over to clean up after her, I thought I was going to keep going. My balance was out. So I think I may have a touch of vertigo. So we've been doing the oil, the tea tree oil roll on the ears that I showed you the other day, the lavender oil, where's my frankincense? My frankincense or magnolia? The frankincense, just rolling down behind the ears and onto the jaw. And I was just physically drained. Then I got on, and then I got ready for the Zoom call because I thought I can't put her off. I've already put her off on Friday, and we couldn't work it on Saturday. And so, it was today. And I got in there, had a fantastic time talking with Julie. I'm actually going to have her coming on as a guest. Let me tell you now. So you can put it on your calendar. So mark your calendars for, I think it's Friday the 6th. It would help, Helen, if you're looking at February. No, Friday the 17th. Friday the 17th of February. So mark your calendars for 6 p.m. Pacific time, Friday, the 17th of February. We're going to have a guest on who actually wrote, I didn't bring the book over here, who actually wrote the book about the heart of a traveler. Incredible person. We sat and had a meeting for, I think we were scheduled for an hour, and I think 2 hours later we were still going. And had we not had other things we had to go do, we could very easily just sit and talk about travel. And so she asked me to come on as a guest. So we went on as a guest. We talked about travelers and put that in there, worked in genealogy a little bit as well. But it was a fantastic call. And we only did like 20 to 30 minutes, I think. I don't know. I wasn't watching the clock. We were just having this conversation going backwards and forwards and wound up and everything else. And then had sat back and had a chat later. Got her on the calendar to become on before the Dirt Nap podcast, and talk about some of the stuff that she does with travel, and I've got her book here, which I'm going to read before that podcast. So I'm really super excited to get stuck into that as well. And then after the podcast, I was still on a little bit of a high. I've got some energy. I said, I think I'll work on one of my genealogy clients' things. And so I started working on that, and all of a sudden, boom, the energy just zapped. It was gone. I was literally sitting here typing and falling asleep while I was typing. And I'm like, yeah, no, this doesn't work. And so I looked at Zeffy and says, I'm going to bed. And so I went and crawled into bed and slept for about 4 hours. I never sleep that long during the day. And I thought, there's other stuff that needed to be done. And so my body is telling me, you have to listen to your body. My body is telling me, slow down, get some rest. And so that's what I did. I went and crawled into bed, read for about 3 minutes, I think it was. I think that's as long as I last with my eyes open, and slept for 4 hours. And woke up still a little on the tired side, getting close to the time taking Zeffy out. And, but yeah, it was just I have never had a day where I've had so little energy. I was trying to think of the last time I had a day with no energy, but it was my body telling me that you need to get some rest. You just need to put everything aside, take the day off completely, get some rest, like as in lay in bed and go to sleep, rest. Don't put the timer, because usually I put a timer on when I go and rest, but no, my body was saying no timer. And so we did that, and we slept for like about 4 hours. And I woke up and I felt a little better, still lacking on the energy side of things. Was able to do the longer walk around the park tonight with Zeffy. She was a little more strain on the leash tonight than she was this morning. I think she conserved her energy this morning for the tonight. And then I was just like, I just need to get off. If I was in the military, it would have been off base. I just need to get off base. I just need to get out of the thing. And I was like, probably shouldn't really be driving with how much little energy I have. And I had some points to use up at Dutch Brothers before the end of the month. And I thought, Zeffy hasn't had a pup cup for a while, so let's go get her one of those. And so I got my double chocolate mocha blend with almond milk, because I'm still trying to stay away from the dairy stuff. And it's actually pretty good. And so I got back here, and it was time to get online. And so there's just listen to your body. The moral of the message of today is listen to your body. When your body says you need rest, rest it. When your body's, because you're the best person to know what is going on in your body, because you're living in it. You can feel whether or not you've got the energy. You can feel the aches and the pains and everything else that's going away. You are the only person on the entire planet that is tuned in to your body. Yes, doctors and stuff can do tests to try and see what's going on and all that. But if you're in tune with your body, you know when you have to take rest. And ignoring it can lead to major problems. So if your body is saying, take a break, take rest, then do it. There's been a couple of mornings, and if you've been following me the last couple of weeks, I've been having issues with my ears, and ear infections trying to come in, which is why I have these 3 rollable oils handy. The tea tree oil, the lavender, the frankincense. Been having them handy, and often just rolling them down behind the ears and down here onto the jaw. And then taking the cotton ball, I don't have any cotton ball with me, and ripping it in half and putting a drop of Melaleuca oil on and just putting it into the ear so it covers the ear holes. And those ones you only need to leave them for like 30 minutes. These I've been putting on 2 to 3 times a day. Up my vitamins have been upped. There's other oils that have come in here that help. Like I have veggie caps that I can put oil drops in. I've been putting in, I got to remember, I've got to go across the thing. There's been 2 drops of frankincense, 2 drops of oregano, 2 drops of lemon, 2 drops of tea tree oil, and 2 drops of, I can't remember what the 5th one is. And I've been taking that capsule once a day. to help combat whatever is trying to overtake my body right now. But I'm just not giving into it. I am taking the rest that I need to take. And if I feel like I need to up the ante a little bit, and I've got my diffuser going here. My diffuser has I tell you, this is like the yummiest the yummiest thing for your sinuses and stuff. It's got eucalyptus and peppermint oil, equal drops of both. I think I've got 4 of each into here, and I can just sit it here and do the. Oh, it smells so good. And like I've had eucalyptus by itself, I'm like, it's okay, and peppermint by itself, which I like, but putting the two together, it's just like magic in a diffuser. And this little diffuser is so small, small enough that it fits inside. I can take it in the car with me, and it sits in the cup holder. And if I run out of power, it's got a little USB connector thingy here that I can plug in and charge it while it's working. So I have a USB cable to fit this in the car. And I can just plug that in and plug it into this. But if I'm driving long distances, I need to stay awake and alert. I'll have a mixture in here that helps with that, with the concentration and the focus on the driving and that sort of stuff. But this peppermint eucalyptus is my new favorite. And I cannot remember where I read about blending those 2 oils together. I wish I could remember, because I want to go back to that post. I think it was on Facebook. I want to go back to that post and say, hey, this stuff, it just smells amazing when you put those 2 oils together. So I will quite often sit here with that going, and it helps with the sinuses and stuff like that. So I'll probably be doing the cotton ball and the oils in the ears tonight because of the slight bit of vertigo I've got going on. I'm a bit off balance at times. So just listening to the body. And there are some days where you're like, especially on weekends when you're not at work, and you're sort of like, oh, I've got this. Da, 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 da. Sometimes your body's going, no. We need a break. We need a day off. And usually I try not to do anything on Sundays online except for this live. So I did break it today with the thing, but I wanted to make sure that Judy got a clean recording on the podcast without jets going overhead like every 5 minutes. And because they were directly overhead, they were extremely loud, and they're not going up in ones, they're going up in twos. So you would get the lead guy going off and his wingman would be following about 30 seconds later. And it made a very loud noise in here that drowned out my heat. So if you've ever been here, my heat pump's been on and you've heard that little low rumbling in the background, those engines would drown out the heat, the heater, the blower for the heat pump thing. Yeah, and I've been here sitting here on Zoom calls with my microphone muted when those jets have gone overhead, and I cannot hear anything that is being said on the Zoom call. I can hear it I can hear what's being said over the heat pump, but I could not hear when the jets are flying. And so those days I have to pull out my noise cancelling headphones, and I can still hear the jets even with my noise cancelling headphones on, because that's how low and loud they are, especially when they're coming directly overhead. And not off to the side a little bit. But anyway, so listen to your body. If it tells you to take a break, take a break. If your body is feeling run down, listen to it. Because when your body is feeling run down, that is the time where you could end up with injuries. Your concentration is slack. So if you're using machinery or you're driving or anything like that, it could be you could end up falling asleep at the wheel or at the machinery. I have sat here at the computer and literally fallen asleep at the computer and woken up, and there'll be like, I'll be in the middle of typing something and I look at what I typed and I'm like, what the heck? And it's because I fell asleep while I was typing and nothing on the screen makes sense. My fingers made up all these brand new words and everything. I had to go back to try and figure out what was it I was trying to say again. So yeah, so listen to your body. And if it says take a break, take a break. And today was one of those days where I just needed to take a day off and just sleep. Yes, I have laundry that needs to be done. I have other things in here that needs to be done. There's a lot of sorting that needs to be going on right now. I've got stuff piled everywhere. And I've got a friend who's saying, when are you going to open Zeffie's bark boxes? Because I actually have 2 sitting here. And I said, when I get enough space cleared that I can. I said, right now I've got stuff piled everywhere. That's going to be like stuff to be donated. The trash stuff has been regularly going to the trash, stuff to go to storage, stuff to, because I'm pulling stuff out and organizing it and then putting stuff back in place. And, you know, this stuff gets donated. This stuff has to go to the main library here. This stuff has to go there. You know, the donated stuff is into piles of where it's going. And then I've got the stuff that's going into storage. So, yeah, I've been working on that for a few weeks. I do admit that. But Zeffy still has enough room to Zoom and has enough room to play. And we have our regular routine nights now where she will come and sit at me and just start whining. And I'll go, what do you want? And she'll look at her toys and then look at me and then look at her toys and look at me. And says, oh, you want to play? Let's play. And I'll put the footstool down on the recliner and lean forward. And she gets her scratches and then she goes off and gets her toys and we start playing. And so she has enough room to run up and down. But we don't have enough room for me to sit on the floor with her and open her bark boxes. So, yeah, we're trying to get that organized because I have a feeling there's another bark box actually waiting for her. So who knows? Anyway, I'm out of here. Go have a super fantastic sparkling evening. I will be having an early night tonight just because my body's saying you need to go to bed a little earlier. And I'm sort of like, as long as I don't wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and can't get back to sleep, I'll agree to that. Because I know Monday's going to be a very busy day. I have I've got one of the clients I work for seems to work on weekends. And I come in on Monday morning and my inbox is, there'll be like about 20 to 30 messages there from her. And I just start at the first one that came in and just work my way through the emails to get rid of them. And because that becomes my to-do list. But anyway, listen to your body. If it says you need a day off, take a day off. Even if your body doesn't tell you need a day off and it's been a while since you've taken one off, take the day off. Go for a drive, go out into the country or something, or go find something to do outside of the house. Something that you've never done before, because remember, those little short breaks are enough to reset the brain so that it doesn't get clogged down too much. When you can take a 7-day vacation at minimum, that is even the best because it's like a complete reboot on the brain. Not a reset, it's a reboot. And I'm looking forward to my cruise coming up in about 3 weeks. And before then, I have to fly to Tampa for my niece's wedding. So I'm looking forward to that because that'll be a break. And I get to hang around with family for a couple of days and before I fly back home again. And it turns out that it's Super Bowl weekend. And I'm like, oh, so airfares coming into Phoenix will be expensive. But airfares leaving Phoenix before Super Bowl, wonder if that would be cheaper. And then if I'm flying into Phoenix after the game, would it be cheaper for me to fly? So, you know, flying the day of Super Bowl might be a little expensive, but if I fly in the day after Super Bowl, it might be the day before. Yeah, I can't fly in the day before Super Bowl because that's just like through the roof on the things. But if I fly the day of Super Bowl, there is a big drop in pricing. And I'm like, yes. So I thought that's pretty smart of them. Super Bowl weekend. Yay. So, yeah, so be flying out to Tampa actually, I think it's the end of next week. Hang on. That's less than 2 weeks away. I think it's 2 weeks from this Friday. Yeah. And actually, it's a week from this Friday. Oh my gosh, it's next week. Not this coming week, but the following week that I have to fly out to Tampa. So yeah, so that's the other reason I'm making sure I stay super healthy right now. And I'm getting my immune system built up with to battle anything it could possibly catch while I'm on a plane or in an airport, because I have to stay healthy through the wedding and everything else and beyond the wedding, because the weekend after the wedding, I'm getting on a cruise ship. And I am super excited for both, because I get to see my second niece get married, and she's my younger niece on Brad's side of the family. Get to see her get married, have a great weekend in Tampa with the family, which is going to be awesome. And then the following week, I get to get on a cruise ship with a whole bunch of people. Some of them I have met in person before. Some of them I have never met in person. But we're going to have a great cruise with our mastermind group. And we've got special guests flying in from different places to join us on the cruise. And so I am like ready. I even have I have a little cruise bag packed for when we go into class sessions, when we have our training sessions and stuff. It's got my notebook in there already. I've got Post-its in there. I have markers. I have different color pens in there. I even have a little box of office supplies that I travel with now. So I have my little cruise training bag is ready to go. So that's kind of fun that I've got that, all ready to go, so that when I get onto the cruise ship, I have my little mini traveling office / training kit ready. Maybe we should do a live on that one day. If you're going on a cruise ship for a class, or if you're even if you're supporting the speakers and stuff, that if you're doing an event at sea and you are the coordinator and sort of like the back office person while on the cruise, what's some things that you need in the kit? I'm going to put that together for you, but not tonight. Anyway, I got to go and just relax a little bit before I go and get into bed and drink a lot more water. Then I'm going to pull out the coconut water because I got a bit of a headache, which I think is due to dehydration because I slept so much today and didn't get to drink a lot of water. So got to go take some electrolytes, get some coconut water into me, and get rid of this headache. Anyway, have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow evening around 6 p.m. Pacific. Hei konera.